Coming up next on We Are Marshall Today, the university showcases its green campus and makes a sustainability pledge. We'll have the details.
Plus, helping students find employment is the goal of a special jobs event. We'll take you there. These stories and more up next on We Are Marshall Today. Hi and welcome to We Are Marshall Today. I'm Leah Clark Payne.
And I'm Dan Hollis. Marshall University is named after John Marshall, one of the nation's most respected Chief Justices.
Yes, Dan. Justice Marshall is remembered every year on campus during Constitution Week, which actually coincides with his September birthday. A little rain didn't stop the Marshall University community from celebrating John Marshall's birthday earlier this month. The annual event, which is part of Constitution Week, features an oversized birthday cake, a dinner theater, educational panels, and the annual Quoits Tournament. President Stephen Kopp says it's important for students to realize Marshall's influence on life in the 21st century.
This is an opportunity for us to celebrate his life, the incredible contributions he made to the development of our nation as Supreme Court Chief Justice, and it's a way to bring attention to the distinction that we have here at Marshall University, that we're named for such a famous man.
The great Chief Justice rendered dozens of legal decisions that make him a fascinating study for many. Dr. Alan Gould, who heads the John D. Verdrinko Academy, says students would do well to understand Marshall's contributions.
He's the foremost jurist this country's ever produced, and he's the only Supreme Court justice to carry the name Great, the great Chief Justice John Marshall. So if no other reason, we ought to know him as our namesake. But his other life, his private life, his life in politics, as a Revolutionary War hero, serving with Washington Valley Forge. There's so many things that people do not know about the man that we feel it's important for our students to know something about it.
John Marshall is obviously remembered for his legal decisions, but many also associate him with the game of quoits. The lawn game, which is similar to horseshoes, is a favorite part of Constitution Week for many at the university, including the president.
It takes us back to our Revolutionary War roots, if you think about colonial times and the Revolutionary War and post-Revolutionary War period. The game has been around a long, long time, and it's a way to create connections with the past. And plus, it's a challenging game.
The president's annual Quoits Challenge went on despite the weather. WSAZ took home the prize. Joining us now to talk about his own legacy at Marshall University is Student Body President Patrick Murphy. Patrick, hey. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. This is your first time on the show.
It is.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and why you wanted to be Student Body President.
Well, I'm a senior, and I'm from New York, and I come from a small city just like Huntington, from upstate New York, and there's a lot of comparisons between upstate New York and West Virginia that I don't think a lot of people really know. So I don't really feel, a lot of people wonder, when I say I'm from New York, they wonder how I got down here.
Well, that is one of my questions.
Yeah.
How did you get to Marshall?
Well, my father worked for, did a lot of consulting for a company in town that contracted for the VA. Mm-hmm. So he came into town a lot and traveled through the town a lot, and he told me about Marshall, and I just applied after him just telling me about it, and I didn't really come to see Marshall until April of my senior year, and when I came down and visited, that's when I decided that I really wanted to come here. So.
And then you've been here, you say you're a senior, you're a biology major?
Yeah, biology, correct? And then there's a concentration, I'm an ecology major, so I deal with a lot of things with the environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a science major. What prompted you to be interested in student government? Tell me about that.
I've always been, I guess, active in the community ever since I've been little. I've been a Boy Scout. I'm an Eagle Scout. I've always just been active. So I guess the funny story is that when I first became involved with student government, it was by chance because a friend came into my room and said, "Hey, do you want to go to this meeting? I'm thinking about joining the organization." So I just went with him just because he needed something to go with, and then now I've come all the way here. So it's, I guess it's almost by chance, but I wanted to get involved. So
it seems like one of my first meetings with you was in regard to the Freshman One Book program.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you've been involved for a while in different capacities.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
What are you hoping to accomplish while you're at Marshall this year of your administration?
Well, there were a number of things that we talked about while we were campaigning, and one thing was trying to get a lot of more student involvement on campus. So one thing that's already happened this year is that we did a Welcome Fest downtown at Pullman Square. We had bands come and play. We had vendors from all across the city to try and get freshmen to know what the city's all about, to try and get them downtown into that area, because a lot of freshmen don't really go down. They always go down towards Barbersville or down towards the fast food alley down that way. So we wanted to try and get them to come downtown. So that was one thing we tried to do, and we had a good turnout. So that was promising.
Did you work with folks at the city, or how did you accomplish that?
We worked with Crate Huntington, which the student group here on campus, me and Kelly Krusevich, helped start that. And Crate Huntington is an economic development, grassroots type of group in the city. So we worked with them. We worked with the mayor's office, helped us out with getting permits and stuff like that. Tyson Compton over at Heritage Village helped us out a lot with getting people to come down. So the whole city was really involved with it. So.
Do you remember how many students, how many freshmen you had? Well, I guess it wasn't just freshmen, but how many students you had participate?
I don't. It was hard to get a figure on it, but there were a lot of freshmen going around with their WOW shirts on. So we were happy to see at least a couple freshmen came down. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Now you have a vice president who also is from Florida. So we have a student body administration at this point that is from New York and Florida. But you guys have Marshall ties. I know Sam has relatives that graduated from Marshall.
She does.
Tell me a little bit about your administration and how you work together and how you work with student affairs.
Yeah. Well, me and Sam first met, I think, freshman year, and then we've always just kind of been in the same circle of people. And then I asked her to come to a Crate Huntington meeting with us, and she wowed me with some ideas that she had. And we work well together. We play off of each other, and we really disagree a lot of the time, so that's good that we're able to disagree but then still be able to work together. So and she's great, and we work well together, and I work well with Steve Hensley, the Dean of Students, and Lisa Martin, who's over there at the Judicial Affairs, and I think it's going to be a good partnership for the year.
Now, do you is there a connection and interface between you and President Kopp? Do you? Yeah,
we meet monthly with him, and we have a constant dialogue with his Chief of Staff, Matt Turner, who has been great. And I know it's kind of hard to be transitioning from one type of work to university work, but he's been doing great, and he's been really helpful with and really looking to help the students with his position. So we're happy to work with him, and we always are talking with Dr. Kopp. So.
Let me ask you, you have two major events coming up. We have Homecoming, and then we have the November 14th Crash Remembrance Ceremony. Talk a little bit about those two events and your involvement with them.
Well, both of them, the Homecoming Parade is really what student government does during Homecoming. And then for the plane crash ceremony, the whole ceremony is organized by student government. Which not a lot of students know that, but it's all organized by student government. With Homecoming, we hope to have events. We have airbrushing going on. You can get your T-shirt airbrushed with your name on it and stuff. We have Guitar Hero. I think WMUL always has their car bash. They're going to be doing that again. I guess Miranda Lambert is going to have a concert here on Friday. So that's going to be fun, and the parade is going to be fun too. We have a whole bunch of bands, marching bands are going to be in it, and that's looking to be fun.
And then the 14th, November the 14th, it's the 40th anniversary of the plane crash, and so it's going to be probably a more significant event than in years past.
It is, and we're trying to go about getting a program that's really to be respectful as possible for the occasion. And we have Father Scott, who was the chaplain at the time of the plane crash. It was his first year in 1970 to be as chaplain of Marshall, and it just so happened that year was the year that he had to deal with such a devastating tragedy on campus. So he's going to be coming back. He's actually the chaplain for the Texas Longhorns right now. So he's going to come back, say a prayer for the football team against Memphis that Saturday, and then he's going to come do the invocation for us. And we also have Mickey Jackson, who was a coach at the time. He's going to be our keynote speaker. So I think it's going to be a very nice ceremony.
Sounds like it's coming together for you. And one last question. We talked a little bit about John Marshall's legacy and a story we just saw. What would you like your legacy to be at Marshall University?
I've been asked that a lot about what I'm trying to get done for the year, and first I hope that people say that I've worked hard and try to do my best at it, but hopefully I can do some positive improvement on campus, do a positive impact on campus, be it maybe helping with rec center fees or with composting on campus, something that really helps the campus and improve it.
All right,
Yeah.
Patrick Murphy, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Leah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages.
I'm Jay Ike with the College of Fine Arts at Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia. On October 12th, the Marshall University Symphony Orchestra will perform a program all written by composers whose last name begin with the letter B, including Beethoven and Bach. The Marshall University Symphony Orchestra consists of about 50 musicians. Most of the musicians are music majors from our Department of Music, but there are also community members who help fill out the string section. The orchestra is conducted by Elizabeth Reed Smith. The orchestra concert is October 12th at 8 p.m. in Smith Recital Hall. The program is free and open to the public. For more information on this event or any other College of Fine Arts event, you can contact me at 304-696-3296.
As you think about your future, who's your competition? Who are your chief competitors? I notice some of you looking to your right and left at your neighbors. You need to think bigger, much bigger. Choose Marshall University. Big enough to matter, small enough to care. Immerse yourself in your learning. Connect with your professors and have fun learning. That's important too. Find your passion. Pursue your dreams. Marshall University.
Marshall University was recently recognized by the Environmental Protection Agency for its commitment to keeping the campus green. In mid-September, Marshall President Stephen Kopp signed a sustainability pledge, with the EPA making Marshall the first school in West Virginia to do so.
The signing of this agreement represents the first university in the state of West Virginia that has signed on to this agreement, and Marshall University is very proud to lead the way in this regard. Universities are much like cities in terms of how we are organized and how we operate. We can organize and operate them to have a very low environmental footprint, or if we don't pay attention, a very large environmental footprint.
The university currently has many innovative programs to reduce its carbon footprint, including a bike loan program, hydration stations to reduce the use of plastic bottles, and at a student request, a green fee to help fund those efforts. The sustainability effort isn't the only way students are helping the community. Marshall kicked off its Week of Service and Volunteer Fair with an event in September aimed at placing students with community needs.
At Marshall, that is one of our objectives, is giving back to the community, and it does make the community feel good. You're a part of the community, and we want them to be a part of the Huntington community and not just the Marshall community.
Folks interested in volunteering through Marshall University can contact Lisa Martin, who's located in the Student Center.
The Ray Hall Transportation Institute at Marshall University recently sponsored its second annual Fit Fest at Ritter Park. The community event is an effort to promote awareness of childhood obesity issues. It also helps fund the Paul Ambrose Trail for Health, named in honor of Dr. Paul Ambrose, a Marshall University graduate who was killed on 9/11. Several activities, including a 5K race, are part of the annual event. The path is a 26-mile non-motorized recreational trail through Huntington. The recreational aspect of the Coal Bowl is no secret to football fans. The annual football game between West Virginia University and Marshall University was played in Huntington this year and attracted a record crowd to Joan C. Edwards Stadium. More than 40,000 fans packed the stands. Prior to the game, Marshall University hosted its Friends from the North for a brunch sponsored by Friends of Coal. Additional activities included special tailgates and Herd Fest, a street fair in downtown Huntington.
Marshall University welcomed one of the nation's most well-known biologists to its Huntington campus in September. Dr. Lynn Margulis is credited with advancing the concept that all life on Earth is interconnected and interdependent. Marshall University biology professor Dr. Victor Fett worked with Margulis to translate and edit a book originally published in Russian. Dr. Margulis is a distinguished professor at the University of Massachusetts Amherst.
Marshall University has received $4.7 million in federal funding to support the new Center for Diagnostic Nanosystems at the university's Robert C. Byrd Biotechnology Science Center. The funding, which was announced in September by U.S. Senators Jay Rockefeller and Clark Goodwin and U.S. Congressman Nick Rahal, was added to Senate appropriations bills at the request of the late Senator Robert Byrd. U.S. Department of Energy officials have formally released $2.9 million, with an additional $1.8 million expected soon. Marshall University students looking to earn a little extra money had the chance to meet some potential employers recently.
Leah, Marshall's Career Services hosted its annual Jobapalooza on the Huntington campus. Students hoping to find a part-time job or internship didn't have far to go to find a few possibilities recently. Glenn Midkiff with Career Services says nearly 24 employers attended the university's Jobapalooza in September.
A lot of students are interested in working, particularly on campus and in our local area. They're interested in finding jobs that they can balance their classwork with, as well as, with other duties.
School and work schedules often overlap, but for Manpower Services, tight scheduling is an advantage.
Well, Manpower is a temporary staffing agency, and what we do is short-term, long-term, temp to permanent work. So when we have students, it really works out well with us because if they have a school schedule, we can fill out, that we can fill them in at different spots than what we're looking for with a lot of the short-term jobs, because usually that's what they're looking for. They're just looking for something to work around their school schedule.
Students who couldn't attend September's Jobapalooza can still find part-time work through Career Services.
JobTrax is our online career management system that we have available to our students and alumni. That's always being used and utilized by employers. We have hundreds of job postings that are on there that employers, in fact these employers that are here today have job postings on JobTrax. So if people couldn't attend today, they can go on to JobTrax and actually apply right online.
Career Services is located on 5th Avenue across from the Student Center. And joining us now to talk more about the job market is Director of Marshall University's Career Services, Denise Hodgson. Denise, thanks for being here. First of all, I guess just give us a brief overview of what you do in Career Services.
Well, we're really trying to change our image at Career Services, and we want to really get away from that placement center mentality. Before, that's what we were seen as a placement office. But we really are into career development, professional development. So we're working with students all the way through their college career to develop them, to develop their career path by helping them choose a major, helping them get internships, really focusing on resume development, interviewing skills. How can I network? How can I sell myself, brand myself to the employer?
Who can use your services?
Well, anyone on campus can use our services, even alumni. We encourage alumni to come back and use our services. And oftentimes in the summer when we're slow and we don't have as many students, we will do community service type activities and workshops so that we can also help our community develop professions also.
Well, let's bring it back to campus. You have a large career fair in October.
We do.
Tell us more about that.
Well, we're really excited. You know, in this economy, we've really looked at what's going to happen in the future with career fairs, but we've been pretty lucky. It has gone down a little bit from when I first came here. This is my 4th academic year here. We had about 100 plus employers on campus when we came that year. This year, right now, we have 53 employers that are coming. We do see that they're quality employers, which is a good thing. We're adding new employers, which is a great thing for Marshall. So we have new employers that are recognizing us and coming to campus. So we're real excited about that. And the career fair is kind of changing. With technology, many companies are doing online applications. They're not taking resumes right at a career fair or doing interviews. So it's more of a networking event, more of a connecting event, more really getting your face in front of someone and getting a contact name. So that's how career fairs are kind of going now. But we're pleased with what's going on with this one, even though it is a little bit smaller.
What should students do to prepare for a big event like that?
Well, you know, we always say you want to put your best foot forward. You know, you want to come dressed appropriately, and if you're just researching, because we do have many students who are freshmen and sophomores who may just want to come and do some research on some companies. So we say business casual for them. We do give them a different name tag so that employers do know this is a person that's really not applying for a job, they're just doing some research. Then if you're really, into that job search mode, you need to come in professional business attire. You need to have resumes. We can print business cards for the students. We think that's very important for them to do that, to leave a business card, to gather business cards. So that's what they need to do to prepare and really research, know about that company, know what they're looking for, what their values are, and how they can add value for them.
I also understand you're working on a mentoring program.
Yes, we are. September 30th, we're trying to expose students to what is it that is going to help me develop my career path, and how can I network with people who have gone through this already so they can help me have plan A and plan B when I'm out there doing a job search. So that's going to be September the 30th, 5:30 to 6:30 at Foundation Hall. We're partnering with the Alumni Association, so we're trying to get young alumni back to campus to talk about their career paths and just expose those students to those career paths.
That's one thing that students can do to help prepare for the job market. What else might they do?
Well, we say get connected to career services early. The earlier they come in and talk with us, and we can help them develop skills. The other thing is we say, okay, maybe you can't find that part-time job, or maybe you're having difficulty because you're on campus, you don't have transportation. Get involved on campus in leadership roles. Join those clubs, join activities, start networking within the campus community and the local community. And we find that individuals who do that, who can put that on their resume, build an excellent resume. And that's what employers are looking for. They're looking for those soft skills too. Leadership, entrepreneurship, being able to communicate, working on a team. And all of these activities that they are involved in will really help them build that resume and be able to show those skills to the employer.
Is there a difference for students looking for that part-time job and then maybe a full-time job after they graduate? Is there a difference in their approach?
Well, there may be a little bit of difference, but we really encourage and try our best to place students in their field of interest or in their field of study. So we try to make a relationship there so they can then start connecting and building those skills that they need. But it's a little different. Sometimes it's a little bit more relaxed than looking for a part-time job than it is a full-time. We tell students now, you need to be prepared to search for a job for 6 months after graduation, so you got to do it early. It's a full-time job searching for a job, unfortunately, in this economy. And that's, I think, what's different, when I was looking for a job, my first job, and now when students are looking for that first-time job. It's really a task.
And internships are very valuable, aren't they?
Yes, we find, and the research tells us that most internships are going to turn into a full-time job, or at least a step into an entry-level position. So, getting an internship, getting that experience will definitely help individuals land that job.
Are there any other tips? We talked about resume. You obviously help folks with resume building. How do you do that? When should students get involved with that activity?
Well, we really like to see freshmen and sophomores have at least a draft resume, starting a draft resume. Their junior year, they really ought to have a pretty solid resume going. And then their senior year, it should be ready to roll when they're ready to go get that job. So on JobTrax, we have Resume Builder. You can deposit your resumes there. You can deposit as many resumes as you want, cover letters, those sorts of things. So we say, and I think the other key is you really need more than one resume. You don't want just a general resume now. You want it tailored to that job description and to that job, because you may have different experiences based on the job that you're applying for, and you may want to highlight some different things for that employer different ways.
Talk a little bit more about JobTrax. Is that what you said?
Yes.
What is JobTrax?
Well, JobTrax is our it's really a technology software program that is very large for us. It's very complex. The student registers. They have their profile on there that has their GPA, their major, so it has information there. they can search for jobs, they can search for internships, they can search for part-time jobs. Employers use it to post their jobs. So it's a connecting kind of device there. You can apply online. That has Resume Builder on there, and we have a great new tool that's on there. It's called Interview Stream that we're really excited about. Students can go practice interviews. If they have a webcam, if they don't, they can come into our office. They can sit there and practice their interview questions, and it's a great tool, and we're really excited to roll that out this year.
Lots of great information. Thanks, Denise.
You're welcome.
And before we go to break today, let's meet another member of the Marshall University alumni family. Dennis Smith graduated from Marshall University in 2006 with a bachelor's degree in accounting. He is employed by First State Bank. Dennis Smith, another member of the Marshall University alumni family, spreading the word about the herd.
From the classroom straight to your computer.
I teach international marketing online 100%. I conduct this class from my office, from my home, and it is 24/7 available to students across the country. I would say this has been one of the most challenging and rewarding experiences, not only for me, for my students as well.
Nationally accredited, affordable, convenient. MU Online.
Prescription drug abuse and misuse is a serious problem. Taking inappropriately prescribed medication is just as dangerous and deadly as street drugs. So it's important for you to know it is illegal for you to share your medication or take medication prescribed to someone else.
Those of us in the Marshall community are definitely proud of the green and white.
And what better way to show support than with the annual family campaign? Let's take a look.
The Family Campaign is an internal giving campaign that focuses on gifts through faculty, staff, and student contributions. We do it basically to raise funds for the university. It's a way to generate a family feeling, especially with students. I think it's important that they receive education while they're here on campus about what philanthropy means to Marshall. When they walk by a building and there's a name on it, or they see a plaque in one of their classrooms, that they understand that that person made a sacrifice to make a contribution to Marshall because they believe in higher education, and we want to really start educating our students about that type of feeling before they become alumni. The campaign is officially a month long. We'll actually wrap up on October 13th at the home football game, but our faculty and staff support us year-round with payroll deductions and other contributions. You can make a one-time contribution. You can give online, which is secure and convenient at www.marshall.edu/foundation. Or you can sign up through payroll deductions with through the development office here at Marshall, and we process that with human resources and payroll. I think everyone needs to get past the idea that only big gifts make a difference. In fact, if every graduate of Marshall University who isn't currently contributing gave $50 a year, we would have an additional $3.5 million, and that would be a significant help to a university like Marshall in terms of growth and taking advantage of opportunities that are out there.
Great job, Rebecca Randolph. Thank you for that story. That's it for this edition of We Are Marshall Today. I'm Leah Clark Payne.
And I'm Dan Hollis. Be sure and join us next time when we'll have a report on the President's State of the University address.
See ya.